Today we've got two people on the show, one after the other. Very rare for us. One, Sebastian, an 18-year-old who wants a little bit of direction on what he should do in his life. Should he go to university or plunge into entrepreneurship? And then also Mehdi, who, again, only 23 years old, wants a little bit of direction on what to do with his cleaning company. Should he buy other companies? Should he tender for more? Is he doing the right stuff? It's all coming up on the big show. Strap yourselves in. Hey gang, welcome back to the business broadcast. Now we've got some goodies here, JB.
God,
There's some
story
to this.
Your branded stuff here. Look at this.
Don't ruin it yet.
Your cafe. Sorry,
I was going to do that, but I was going, would you like some sugar? I know you don't have sugar. Have some sugar, and you're just going to go. Cafe Deli have got their own sugar gang. I don't know if you can see that.
This is very nice. I like the branding of Cafe Deli. It's nice.
Yeah, me too, baby. We saw one of our lorries just in the high street doing a delivery to someone else, and they walked past and went, "Hello, James. I just delivered to your hotel." Yeah, one of our members of staff, that was.
Do you good impression of a member of staff? Does he? Do you get hyped when you see your trucks on the road?
I was with Chuds. I was like, "Yeah, cool. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go." Today on the podcast, we are speaking to Mehdi.
We are.
Tell us a little bit about it, JB.
So Mehdi has got a cleaning company. It's been going to 0 to 2 years, doing $6,000 a month. Employees, he has got 2 of them, and he has got some challenges. As always, that's what we like to have here on the podcast. We don't like to hear all the good stuff. We like to hear all the challenges. We're having an afternoon tea here, are we?
Yeah, I'm going to make you a proper cup of English tea.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very nice. So the challenges include biggest challenge, cash flow, as most companies take a long time to pay. Second biggest challenge, finding, training good staff and keeping them, as he generally prefer to hire for attitude over skills. And the third biggest challenge, cash flow challenges, as companies like to take a long time to pay. So challenge 1 and challenge 3 are the same challenge. That's how important the challenge is.
When you're challenged, though, do you know what I find helps?
What?
Cup of
tea. Now, a cup of tea does solve a lot of stuff, doesn't it? Like after a disaster or like something bad happens, like have a cup of tea.
Second you get back from holiday.
Oh, you have a cup of tea, didn't you?
In your own house.
Oh, yeah.
Tastes like your own bed.
Your own house. Lovely, isn't it?
So this here is a pot of tea. Do you have a pot of tea ever?
Yeah, if we have people over to our house.
You make a big pot.
Yeah, we do make a pot.
With bags or with leaves?
Oh, bags.
Bags. Well, this is gold tea in here.
Oh, okay.
So you know I like Yorkshire Gold?
Yeah.
Well, there's another Marks and Spencer's gold tea. I like that too.
That is good. I do like that.
So I'm going to... Chuds, would you like a cup of tea as well? Oh, yeah, look at this.
Chud's in for a tea. He's in for a tea.
He's in for a tea. Oh, a little bit of a spillage there. And I'm making you this cup of tea today. Look at the steam coming off of this bad boy.
That's got a lovely brew to it. How many bags you got on? 3 bags?
I think it's 5 bags.
5 bags? You tell he's doing well, can't you? 5 bags.
But this is the secret to making a good cup of tea. Cornish Creamery whole milk.
Oh, good God.
Are you a green milk family?
No, I'm a red milk. Well, the kids are green.
I don't know if we can be friends.
I'm red.
Why?
Red, because it's just
so processed.
You can taste the...
This is how it's meant to be, natural. Less meddling around. And you will taste this now and you go, yeah, this is...
No, I don't feel... It just ruined it. It ends up tasting like milk, doesn't it?
Yeah, good. Look at that.
Great listening experience for everybody. And look at that.
I'll have the end one because I like it milky. I haven't got a spoon. Do you have sugar?
No, thanks, mate.
Chad, you have he has a cheeky little Cafe Deli sugar in there.
Of course he does. Keep it on brand.
Anything else on the podcast that you think is interesting?
Well, yeah, so we've got loads of stuff that we're going to talk about with Mehdi, and the company is Mediless Cleaning Services. We always ask him about, where do you want to be in 1 year's time, and you making the profitability you want to make, etc. But we'll touch on that shortly. But before that, we've got, oh my God, we're having a malted milk biscuit as well.
Oh, no, this is malted milk chocolate. This is an exceptionally good biscuit. We spoke about Toffaloffers biscuits on the other show.
We did.
And people have been sending in pictures of them buying them, but not sending them to us.
No.
What we were trying to do was get people to send
us biscuits.
Toffaloffers biscuits. But no, they're so good, they've decided to keep them for themselves and eat them. But this is my best value chocolate biscuit, the malted milk. Chocolate malted milk.
The chocolate malted milk. I've never had a chocolate malted milk.
From Marks and Spencer's.
I'm very excited
right,
about this.
Chuds, no, that's no sugar. That's yours. But you need to give it a little swirl because we've got no... I've got a big biro here, which you can use as a... Look at this.
There you go.
Oh, use the biscuit. He knows.
Oh,
this is why Chuds, he works in film.
Chuds, everybody. Chuds.
Mm.
Right, should we carry on with the rest of the podcast? This is going to be... Unless you're into that ASMR, that like weird, like sounds thing. You've seen that? Oh, this is absolutely disgusting as a listening experience. Oh.
That is a great cup of tea.
Okay.
It's the milk. It's the malted milk chocolate biscuit. It's the teapot. It's the cafe deli sugar.
Yeah, it just tastes like hot milk. Lovely. Thank you, though. It's very nice.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
no gratefulness here.
I still got the cow on the back of the biscuit.
Okay, so this business, cleaning business, very difficult to do a podcast while eating a biscuit.
Very difficult job, right?
Should we get him on? Or should we do some of our features now we've done the tea feature?
Prior to all of that, you had an email, didn't you?
I did have an email.
That was the point of this beginning part of this show. Go on, tell us about the email. What happened?
We got an email into the office, and we get emails every day now and messages every day, people asking for help. When young people email in and ask for help with such sincerity, I try and get back to them, but I'm just so busy. I thought, well, we'll add this in on the podcast because I think we could really help him. I don't know if you have got...
I've got the email.
Sufficient biscuitless mouth now.
I have.
Biscuits and saliva are not great, are they?
No, I'm good to go.
But this is a heartfelt email that we got into the office, and JB's going to read it out.
Yeah, okay. So it's quite small on my screen, but I'll give it a go. Hey, James Sinclair, I need your help immediately, please. I mean, I like the fact he's gone for a subliminal demand there. My name is Sebastian. I've recently turned 18. Oh, he's got manners for an 18-year-old, hasn't he? And I have decided I need to change. I need change. I'm currently sat here at 6:35 a.m. writing an email to you whilst listening to Creep by Radiohead. Good taste for an 18-year-old as well, eh? In a small flat in Carshalton. I'm studying 3 A-levels, business studies, English language and literature and mathematics. I'm not sure on my next decision about whether I go to university or dive straight into an apprenticeship working 6 days a week, slaving away for the Clancy Group. However, what I do know is my passion for business studies, being able to handle money and grow something from scratch, creating an empire by day, working and building my dream and my own business, working on my own long hours. That's my dream. My father has just applied for a job at Heathrow, driving elderly and disabled around in those funny-looking cars. It breaks my heart looking at him, but it also fuels me. A 65-year-old man with a diabetic neuropathy, where every day is a challenge in constant pain, yet he's has to provide and look after me. I understand that he is approaching his final years in life, and I want to provide for him and buy him everything he has ever wanted, no matter what. One day I will stand at my father's grave and realise he was the only man who spent his life preparing me for a world without him. This is quite a hard one to read. But I want to do it with pride in my heart and to know without a shred of doubt I haven't failed him. A quote is embedded in my mind from my father. I'm not scared of dying. I'm disappointed I won't get to see the next 30 years of your life and how successful you'll be. And I live by this day by day. I refuse to fail. I will be successful. I'm sick of sitting at this desk absorbing mind-numbing dopamine. I'm ready for change. My father and I run a business, providing and acting as croupiers for games such as blackjack, roulette and poker, as well as others. I'm looking to help him to build a better website in order to earn more money and expand. We currently operate sporadically on every other Saturday, which is enjoyable, but we cannot survive on that alone. I'm writing this email not only for advice on what path I should take and what you would do in my position, but also to pitch our business. I'm hungry to learn about marketing, business, investing, everything it takes to build wealth in an honourable way. This is a business that I will inherit one day. I want to create something sustainable. I want to expand into other areas such as sound design and entertainment, etc., as I dream of building an empire. Second, I want to pitch our business to you. You organise 7,000 parties a year. Surely there's an opportunity here. If I had £1,000 a week to invest, I know exactly where I'd put it. The problem is I don't have it yet, but I am ready to do whatever it takes to change that. This will be my first day of learning how to market myself and aspects of the marketing in general as I sit here inspired watching through your incredibly passionate videos. I'm planning to learn skills over the following months alongside my A-level exams such as copywriting. I'm curious on how to earn money and what I should do alongside my A-level exams to expand and invest into my young adulthood, as my goal is to be a multimillionaire and create wealth in honour of my father's great efforts. I cannot sit here and watch as a North Korean hacker steals 1.5 in crypto and pretend I'm happy. If I were to join this apprenticeship opportunity at the Clancy Group, it would take me 53,786 years to earn $1.5 billion. I don't want to be a hacker, but I want to become wealthy the legitimate way, not earning 23,000 a year while my boss drives La Ferrari. So, James, if you have any advice on business, investments, wealth building, I'd be incredibly grateful. This email is the first step on a journey I refuse to give up on. Thank you for your time and for the inspiration you continue to provide. Best regards, Sebastian.
Thanks for listening to this podcast today. That was long old. I just thought, when it came in, I thought we should get him on the show because I think we have an established business owner audience.
Yes.
I think some startups listen to us.
Yeah.
But this is pre-startup, isn't it? This is a guy trying to work out
what to do.
Yeah. At the very beginning. So he's on the line right now and he's going to be joining us.
He is.
Hey, Sebastian, you there, my friend?
Hi, James. Hi, JB. Thank you for allowing me onto the podcast today.
You are very, very welcome. What was the instigator? Obviously, we heard the 6:35 a.m. and you're listening to Creep by Radiohead, but there's probably been other days of a similar ilk. What was it about that particular day that made you press the send button?
I just finished my A-level mocks and I felt I was doing revision, obviously researching different YouTube videos, and James Sinclair it was the best YouTube videos I could find, just about his hotel, talking about different business aspects in those videos. And that sort of really inspired me.
Oh, yeah, I think he's great too.
I don't. I think he's overrated and got a bit of an ego, but there you go.
Sebastian, you obviously have got the bug for hunger. You want more, and we applaud that, and we need young generations like you to drive the world and the UK economy forward. There was something that you said in your email. You said, if I could just make £1,000 a week, I'd know what to do with it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm quite interested in sort of stocks and shares within businesses and whatnot. So what I would do with £1,000 a week, I'd look at sort of upcoming news, what's going to happen in the economy, and invest against it or for it, if you understand what I mean.
I absolutely know nothing about that. But what I do know about is making £1,000 a week. If that's all that you need to really get going to fulfill your dreams, to me, that's very easy to do. I've made a video on my YouTube channel called "If I Had to Go from 0 to 1 million again, here's what I'd do." And I actually,
good video that.
I film it in this room, and it's frankly, it's still one of my most favourite videos that Chuds and I made. But the gods of YouTube didn't reward us so much with it. It's still done okay, but I urge you to go and watch that video. Chuds, can you just find out exactly what it's called and let us know whilst Chuds is finding that? He will read it out to you. But if I had to make £1,000 a week, I would set something up which is swapping time for money, or flipping on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And I would choose a niche.
Great idea.
That I could build up on. Maybe it's Nike trainers. Maybe it's going around charity shops in Chelsea and the West End in high quality areas and buying stuff and then flipping it on Facebook or eBay. And I think making £1,000 a week is very, very easy if you do just some of those things. And then you can generate your cash to go and do your investing. Job done. Thanks for being on.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it literally is that easy.
But document the whole thing as well, because that's the whole sort of like Gary V model, isn't it? Like go to car boot sales and go to what they call garage sales.
I mean, I've got a member of my staff that works for me, and their husband's a PE teacher and goes and does boot sales as a side hustle 1 day a week. And let me tell you now, he's making many, many more than £1,000 a week whilst being a full-time teacher.
Yeah.
So you could get a job, generate your doodly doos, and then at weekends you can go out and do flipping. And I mean, I watched someone that does this, literally goes to charity shops in the West End, and they're full of designer labels.
Yeah.
Buys the stuff and then sells it on Marketplace and eBay.
Yeah.
And you obviously have got the time. I mean, the flipping on Facebook Marketplace and eBay is just unbelievable. Let's find out the title of that video, Chuds.
It's called "If I Wanted to Go from 0 to 1 Million, Here's What I'd Do." The thumbnail is Business Blueprint.
Yeah. I really urge you to go and watch that, Sebastian,
Okay.
because it's 20 minutes long, is it, Chad? Something like that? Yeah, it's a 20-minute video, and it really breaks down, if I had to start again, how I'd build £1 million business in a year. And genuinely, the strategies and tactics that I put in that video is exactly what I've done in my career in the beginning.
Okay. Do we have time for one quick question?
No. Of course you had.
Go on.
Of course, Sebastian.
Thank you. So if you could go back to 18, knowing what you know now, would you go to university, get an apprenticeship, or go straight into building your business and expanding?
It's not fair to ask me that question, Sebastian, because
You already know the answer.
Yeah, and because I will give you a biased opinion on might be different to you. Like if you're wanting to be an engineer, if you're wanting to be a doctor, if you're wanting to be a lawyer, obviously you have to go to university and do that stuff. But for me, the answer is no, because I want to be an entrepreneur and be a business owner and get going. And I don't think it's fair to me to give a biased opinion on what you should do with your life.
I think the fact that you're asking the question probably tells you which direction you are more heavily leaning towards.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, James. Thank you, JB.
It's a pleasure to have you on. And
do you know what I would do if I was you? I'd find someone in your local area who you can go and shadow. Go and find a great business owner. Go and find the James Sinclair of Carshalton, of which there will be one. There'll be a bunch of them, and go and work for free, weekends, evenings, school holidays, whatever it may be, and watch how those people operate. Because if someone like
possibly
you,
be the best university you ever went to.
100%, someone like you who is as articulate and driven, people will resonate with you. Someone will back you and give you a chance and give you a foot up. 100% they will.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so easy to make £1,000 a week. It's just so easy to have that as a side hustle if that's what you want. I mean, you could go and buy food and sell it at markets. Yeah, if you put the effort in, you could just set up a donut stall in a high footfall areas. And because I used to have a business like that. It's so easy. But really the best one to do is, at your age, use the internet.
Yeah.
Make videos, make pictures of products that you've bought, repurpose it. I mean, you could go and buy a designer charity shop clothes and literally 5x it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But if you really, you think your life can be changed, I don't think it can by earning £1,000 a week. You'll quickly get there and go, oh, I now want 2,000 and I want to grow and I want to grow and I want to grow. You're dissatisfied with where you're at, which is usually the necessity you need to change where you want to go. That's great.
Of course. Thank you very much, James.
JB's absolutely right, though. Get yourself a mentor kid. Someone that 60 years old. They've got a good business, and you just say to them, "I don't want a wage. I just want to work with you. I want to assist you, even if it's one day a week." They'll end up paying you. They always will, but they'll just love that you've said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Are you on social media anywhere?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. On Instagram.
Okay, what's your Instagram handle so that anyone who's listening who really rates the email that you sent in and wants to support you, where they can get in contact, and we can put a link to you in the show notes.
Thank you. My Instagram is SebastianField_. That's my Instagram.
You know what you need at the end of your Instagram, don't you? Just stick a little official on there, Sebastian. People love that.
Yeah, a little official mark.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
Regular listeners of the show will know. So Sebastian Field, so Sebastian with an A, so SEBASTIAN Field _. Sebastian Field _ That's
exactly,
where he's on Instagram, and we'll put a link in the show notes and in the comments on YouTube. And if anyone has heard this YBT, this young bright thing, and wants to support him, help him out, or give him a job, an apprenticeship, or give him a bit of advice and guidance if you happen to be in that neck of the woods, then please reach out to him. Sebastian, thank you for getting in touch with the show.
Cheers, James, JB, thank you very much for your time, guys.
Cheers, pal. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you. You too.
God, imagine if...
JB, can I just say, I think that's one of my most favourite things we've ever done on this podcast.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was really, really enjoyable. Imagine being that articulate at 18 years old. I didn't know miles from my elbow at 18. Let alone,
Don't know him at 42, do you?
no, it's very true. It's very true. It's very true.
No, that was good. See, that was a good section. I thought it would-
He's someone who's
what we needed on this show was another feature.
yeah, definitely. Needed a bit of heart this show, doesn't it? We're just like callous money grabbing.
I mean, people are going to be watching this. If they've come across this for the first time, what is going on here?
Yeah.
They just had a cup of tea, made it in front of us. Multi-built biscuits.
The worst start to a podcast ever. Then a beautiful section, but he's obviously. You were making moves at that age because of your mum being poorly, weren't you?
Yeah, his dissatisfaction will drive him. But he does. You were the nail on the head there. If he can just find someone locally,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing.
And every area, by the way, doesn't matter where you're from, every area has got that rich, successful, it's all relative, isn't it? But a rich, successful business person. And do you know what those people love? Nothing more than giving back and talking about themselves.
Yep.
You can go and spend the day
Massage
with
that
them.
ego.
Exactly. Spend the day with them, sit in the passenger seat of the car as they drive around their businesses. Imagine if someone like him, if he was around your neck, if he was like in Essex way, you'd say to him, come for a day.
No, I wouldn't because I'm too busy.
Okay.
Because can I just say people ask every day
Oh, do they?
to do stuff like that. No, I'm not the right person, but there are other people that
I can't. He doesn't even take me out for lunch anymore with this podcast.
No.
He bought his own lunch at M&S and then microwaved
the
it.
amount of people that ask, James, I was just wondering if we can meet up for a coffee.
Oh, I hate that.
How can you just,
The worst one is
still 2 hours of your time.
Should we meet for a digital coffee? Oh, no, that's even
no.
worse. Now I'm
No,
giving you my time.
I never get them. I never get them offers. No, mine's a real. I get this. I'm like, if you're just passing through Manchester,
You happen to be in San Fran.
yeah,
Can we have a quick chat?
yeah. Chance has got something here.
I basically did that with you. When I was 18, I saw you on stage and then thought I could probably spend some time with that guy. That might be good.
What was your
I
next
didn't,
move
I didn't
then?
ask to work for free though. I spoke to Mark, remember at the time, and said, "Do you want to start making some videos and take some pictures?"
But you did know it. Yeah, I did.
I was 18, 19, and I remember thinking, because I saw you in is it Wales?
Yeah.
On stage, and I thought, yeah, I should probably spend some time with him.
Did you go to that event knowing that's what you were going to it for?
I had no idea why I was going.
Really?
My mum was going, and she said, "What are you doing on Wednesday? You should probably come to this business conference." And I was like, "All right, cool."
What? And then when you were there, you were like, I've got to find a way to become valuable to.
Yeah, straight
these
away.
people.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. You could be the next Chuds.
I'd like to watch that. We've got that video somewhere, haven't
Do
we?
we?
What have you doing
Well,
that talk?
I didn't film it.
No. Yeah, there was about 1,000 people in that audience, wasn't there? So when that was one of my first big. I mean, I went in with a hit, like big business audience of 1,000 people on the first gig.
That's good going, isn't it?
Good audience as well. That was.
Yeah, they were a really good audience. Yeah.
And I was very funny. But it was more stand up than
You a couple of lines about people's split hairs and like
all my classics.
someone was
all the
wearing a
stuff.
dress
All the
and you
good
said
ones.
they looked like a cupcake. It was all that kind of stuff.
All my classics.
All the classic James Sinclair banter. Well, there you go. There's Sebastian. I hope if someone is local to him, they can support him. And,
Okay.
reach out and give him a hand. Right, let's talk
Is there
about...
a knock at the door?
Good God, yeah, we're 25 minutes in. It's time for a knock at the door.
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact.
It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week. It's a point in the show where we have an interesting fact or quote.
Yeah, baby.
Go on.
And I've gone to my audience for this
Oh,
one.
of course he has.
You can follow me at James Sinclair Entrepreneur on Instagram. And if you want to follow James Burt, where do you need to go, JB?
Just at James Burt Official.
Idiot. And okay, so I've got a few here.
I'm getting online bullied about that daily now.
I love that.
On different platforms as well, like people on LinkedIn, like in the comments, like, oh, here it is.
James Burt Official.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've gone to the audience, you've not even shortlisted.
Well, have you got
yourself.
one yet?
No, I'm waiting for you to go.
I thought you was going to go first.
No, okay, I can go first if you want.
All right, I've got one. My why became so strong that the how became so easy. I've heard that before.
Oh, that is good. Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah, I do like it. I've got this one. You can't win if you don't play the game, and you only lose if you stop playing the game?
Brilliant. That is a great one. I've got another great one here.
Come on.
From Lewis Harris, 1993. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education.
Oh, that is good. That is good.
This one here is a laughy, jokey one. Budgets are meant to budge. That's a good one. And that is from the Gower Laundry Company. And Tara Stapley, who works for me, customers only will have, Tara Stapley, who works for me, is one of our senior managers. Customers will only have a fun, positive experience if employers are having fun in their work. That's a Disney quote. She used to work for Disney.
Oh, did
11
she?
years. I met Tara, who's an amazing member of our team. Who I predict is one of our rising stars.
Oh, is she?
Future. She could be an SLT member in my team. Do you know what SLT is?
No.
Senior leadership team.
Oh, the SLTs.
Like, if you're in the SLT, you know, like that. That's our SAS.
Is it okay?
Yeah. I think she could be one day.
What does she do now? Where is she?
I can't tell you what she does. She's a senior manager in one of our places, and if I told you where that is, that could give away something that's sort of under wraps at the moment.
Okay.
So that's why I'm being a little bit cagey.
Okay.
But I met her I went on Disney Cruise, which I think is Disney's best experience.
Did you rate it?
I think Disney Cruise is so much better than Disney World.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because no queues.
Yeah,
They're
fine.
Brilliant.
Do they have rides and stuff on it?
They have massive swimming pools and they sail into their own island.
No, do they?
Yeah, yeah.
I did not know
Why are
that.
you shocked about this? This is the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, I
Living
just
owning an
didn't-
island is
yeah.
like you finding a fiver at the back of the
No,
sofa.
yeah, fair
Not
point.
that impressive.
Still exciting though when that happens.
And she was on there and I got talking to her. She was,
Did you poach off a ship?
then I said, look, if you ever come back to the UK, please can you get in contact? And that was 15 years ago. And she used to run our,
Wow.
she was the manager of our Christmas experience at Marsh Farm.
Oh, really?
She's good. She's great.
What was it about her
Very
that
good
made
at-
you?
She's got all the jazz hands, but also very, very good at managing people, which is a rare commodity in entertainment
Yes, it is.
where you can be director and actor. Not very often.
Yeah, very true. Well, there you go. We've shouted out one of your team. We've had some interesting facts or quotes. We've done a little bit of goodness for the world. Should we do a little bit more supporting of small businesses with our guest?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. Let's get him on, shall we?
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Mehdi, are you there? So I know we've had you waiting in the wings for some time, my friend. Let's get you on. Are you there, Mehdi? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. It's quite noisy, but it sounds like you're. It sounds like you're next to a plane. But we'll deal with it, Mehdi. We'll deal with it. So thank you for being on the podcast, first and foremost. Give us a synopsis of you and the business, please, mate. We've obviously talked a little bit about it, but just in your own words, tell us about you and the company and give us the origin story.
So I started with my friend. We used to work as carers. Funny enough, I listened to Sebastian's story. I wasn't supposed to listen to it, but I was in Sebastian's situation last year, the exact same situation. I had finished my A-levels and I wasn't sure whether I should go to university or not. And I didn't go. And exactly like James said, I started flipping stuff on eBay. I started buying stuff from car boot sales, buying it, selling it online. I just finished my A-levels last year, so I was supposed to join university as well, but I didn't go. So me and my friend, we used to work in the care home at night, and we were like, we used to dream about, making lots of money and stuff like that. So I was like, why don't we start our own company, start our own cleaning service? And then he said, yeah, let's crack on with it. So I left the job, and then I started with him. We didn't even have a car by then. We used to go by bus. I bought everything from the car boot sale, and then we started working. We did a few jobs here around there, and then I watched James Sinclair for a while, and then I realized that I wasn't going to make any money from that. And then I started focusing on local councils and housing associations, social services and care companies. And then I realized those customers have a good average customer value. So I switched the whole model up, and then I changed everything. And then now we work with as many local councils: Surrey, Runnymede, Woking, Reigate. So, but by that time, we're making very little money. When I submitted the application, making about £5,000 a month. Now we make about £16,000 a month, due to how I tweaked the model. But I do encourage Sebastian to keep on fighting, to keep on looking for himself, and I believe he will make it because he's hungry and he wants to succeed.
How great it's gone full circle. That someone who we've had the advice of, and then someone who's literally done that 1 year ago. That's brilliant. Hopefully he listens to this full episode and takes inspiration from that story. So I've got the updated version. So 15 grand a month, 2 part-time employees. Biggest challenge, I'm spreading myself too thin by focusing on the elderly and the vulnerable individuals. Should we go ahead and tender for more commercial cleans, or should we focus on increasing our average order value within our niche? Second biggest challenge, customer concentration. 90% of our work comes from local councils, social workers like mental health and substance abuse teams, as well as hospital discharge teams, which makes us very vulnerable. We are solely focused on serving them to become famous to a few. Third biggest challenge. God, they've swallowed the playbook, haven't they? They're playing James Sinclair bingo here.
I mean, you're doing a James Sinclair audition.
It's fantastic. Third biggest challenge, the business is clearly not a commercially profitable enterprise. That can scale massively or possibly sell one day for a good liquidity day.
I love it. Are you making this up? Is this a...
No, this is literally, I'm not even making it up. Where do you want to be in 1 year's time? We want to be a leading elderly and vulnerable cleaning service in the south of England. We want to be able to choose 3 more county councils by the end of the year. Oh, sorry, close 3 more county councils by the end of the year. What will the business look like when it's finished? The UK's #1 specialist elderly and vulnerable home service. Do you make the profit that you want to make? If so, what is it? It says, no, the margins are very good, but once we bring on more councils, they'll be eaten up by middle management. Sad truth. How do you spend your time?
It really,
day to day.
Mehdi, you really have been watching my stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, he's been studying it, hasn't he? Studying it.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing I do. Only thing I do.
That makes me sad, Mehdi. That makes me very sad that you've got nothing better to do than watch this old egomaniac touting out his old nonsense. But what does he spend his time day to day in the business doing? 80% of my time is network marketing with social workers and clients and watching James Sinclair. This is ridiculous. I spent 80% of my time, I'm not even making this up, I spent 80% of my time on network marketing with social workers and clients and watching James Sinclair as I drive a lot between my client visits, as many of them are far apart, and 20% of my time spent on invoicing and the small-time vampire stuff. And then he's got a bunch of questions that he'd like to ask you, Jimbo. How brilliant.
Well, hi, Mehdi. Welcome to the business broadcast. So when did you discover James Sinclair?
Don't talk about yourself in the third person.
About 6 months ago, I think.
No, you're not using all that in just 6 months. Look, I mean, this is one of the world's brightest entrepreneurs here, just trying to make a cup of tea. Oh, well, thank you, Mehdi. That's interesting. Well, let me try and help you. So the first big challenge, JB, just read it back to me, number one.
So big challenge number 1 is, am I spreading myself too thin by focusing on elderly and vulnerable individuals? Should we go ahead and tender for commercial cleans, or should we just focus on increasing our average order value within our niche? So at the moment, they're just focused on via councils.
I don't think that's
specialist cleans.
Too spread too thin. I don't think so.
No.
Cleaning's cleaning. It's not like you're saying I'm going to open a fish and chip shop and run my cleaning company.
Second challenge, how do I open my fish and chip shop?
Yeah.
So as long as it's clean and you're all right with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that as an issue. I think that's possibly you, Mehdi, just, maybe not thinking big enough. I mean, just go for it. I don't worry. Don't worry about that. I mean, it's not like you're borrowing loads of money to go and do it. Test and measure, baby. You can afford to do that right now.
We're thinking of tendering for more work since we already work with the local councils by hammering down on tendering, on other tendering websites. But we were like, if we divert our focus away from what we're doing and serving social services, we thought maybe we would start losing our customers. And
why would you lose
like
them?
that. So we were.
Let's look at what's the fear. Why would you lose them?
I believe that it would divert our core message, our core beliefs and stuff like that.
Core beliefs, mate. It's a cleaning company. Don't worry about that. You're confusing it way more than you need to. Why do you think your customers are going to leave you? Because you're doing other types of cleaning?
No, because I thought maybe it would divert our time that we spend on focusing and making sure that the service is the best that we can provide. But I think
we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
If we don't, if we just also,
mate, you're worrying about
and
it
also
too
because
much.
we don't. Yeah, and also since we don't spend any money on Google ads or Facebook ads or anything like that, because we spend a lot of our time on network marketing, going to visit elderly people, looking at them, seeing their difficult situations that they pass through, and then trying to address that issue. So I've been spending a lot of time around that.
Is that a good use of your time?
I have to go and quote work all the time.
Well, that is not a good use of your time. So, what great entrepreneurs? One of the, we do the 8 traits of the greats, and if there was a few more traits on the 8, one would be the ability to have awkward conversations, and the other one would be, what is your time being spent doing? So, doing very important non-urgent tasks usually translates into leverage tasks. So you do the work once and get paid forever. So tendering for big contracts is a very good use of your time, because if you get it, you should be looking for contracts that are worth £1 million that catapult you into another size. You're obviously curious, you're understanding stuff, you're learning my sort of philosophies and mentality. You wouldn't get me doing stuff. You value your time at an hourly rate. So if you're going out doing £30 an hour tasks, know that you are doing a disservice to your business. You should be doing stuff that's going to make the business £1,000, £2,000 an hour, and evaluate what your hourly rate is bringing in for the business. And if it's 20, 30, 15 pounds an hour, you employ someone else to do that. Now that might mean that's a bit of financial pain for you because you're not getting paid for it straight away. But usually it does give you big dividends within 6, 9, 12 months. And for listeners as well, filling out tenders and doing tenders does teach you a lot about what big business wants, even if you don't win the tenders. Never be disappointed if you don't win the tender, because they'll go, oh, do you have certain XYZ accreditation?
Yeah.
Well, then you go and get it, because if you fill in another tender that you can now say yes. If that keeps coming up, if your policy on XYZ, you've got it there to hand, and then you just get better and better at these tenders. Because most people go, oh, well, I lost the tender, but I know we're a much better company than the people that won the tender, but they might have all the accreditations that give them notes around the business, and you've got to get that around your business. So, get a tender going all the time. Always have 2 or 3 on the go.
Yeah, because I actually rang up all the tendering websites and I asked them what would they think about our company position and stuff like that. And they said, since you already work with the local councils, it might be much easier for you to win the tenders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if your company is still juvenile.
Absolutely. But go for the bigger tenders. Don't go for, like when it says, £1 million contract, that's when you get excited, because it forces you to get the implementation to be in a bigger business. So, one of the big things that I've learned about entrepreneurs and business owners is, we're all, as you get on, you go, actually, it's not, there's not much difference between me and the bloke that's, worth 10 times more or doing 10 times more. It's just that found themselves in situations that they could say yes to these bigger things. You know, I get really excited about 10 million turnover businesses now. You know, I looked at 3 or 4 opportunities over the last 3 months, and even, you know, Aaron came with us. We went and looked at a business in Kent to buy. It would have folded into Cafe Deli, and our reticent to do it was only a 1.5 million turnover business. And, you know, you get back in the car, you're having your review of how it went. He's sitting next to me. I went, problem is a bit too small for us. And he went, yeah, it is a bit too small for us. We're not good at buying £2 million businesses. We're better at buying £10 million businesses because we see a much lower level of risk there.
That's an evolution that you've gone through, isn't it? Because you used to buy, would you say, an average business for a good price, whereas now you'd rather buy a great business for a good price? Or
Well, it's better to buy
a good business for a fair price than a fair business for a good price.
That's a Warren Buffett phrase. It's not.
I thought it was a James Sinclair original.
No, that's a Warren Buffett. It's better to buy a good business for a fair price rather than a fair business for
a good price.
Yeah, I think it's actually great. It's better to buy a great business.
We have really butchered this. That could be a new segment of the show, butchered quotes.
Yeah, it's better to buy a great business for a fair price than a fair business for a great whatever. Chuds, can you find the quote? The Warren Buffett quote.
Yeah, you did one of them attempts. You said it right.
Yeah. Chuds, everybody.
Chuds, everybody.
Is everyone's favourite member of the cast.
Yeah.
I think the first attempt.
Can I just say, someone put in the comments about what does Chuds look like? I'm wondering what Chuds looks like, and they put like 5 criminals' names. Did you see that? Like some of the world's worst criminals. Oh, he's got to look like Harold Shipman or something. I thought I'd just mention it. I love that. Okay. So, Mehdi, where are we up to next?
So let me get to the challenge was about spreading yourself too thin. Challenge number 2, customer concentration. 90% of our work comes from local councils, social workers, like mental health and substance misuse teams, as well as hospital discharge teams. We make which makes us very vulnerable as we solely focus on serving them to become famous to a few. Again, I don't think that does make you vulnerable. It's not like it's one customer,
one
is it?
Contract and one. But if you've got a 5-year contract, you know, get 10 local authorities. What you just don't want, Mehdi, is you don't want 10% of your business coming from one source. But you could get multiple local authorities, can you?
I see.
Multiple NHS trusts.
Yeah, because we have a lot of housing associations as well that work with us.
What I don't want is
that we're trying to bring on board as well.
Yeah, what I don't want is Ilford Housing Association to be paying you £1 million a year and your business turnover is £1 million a year.
Yeah.
What I want is £1 million coming from Ilford County Council or Ilford Council, and you go, right, now let's go to Essex County Council, get £1 million contract from them. So now it's 50-50, and then let's get Hertfordshire, and then it's a third and a third. If you get a big contract, gang, and it causes you customer concentration, that's okay. That usually does happen with growing businesses. But you need to address it and dilute them straight away and not rest on your laurels.
Your full-time job becomes dilution as fast as possible, isn't it?
Yeah. You take it, you keep it, you want them. Absolutely you do. Because that can take you to another place. But it's your job then to, as JB says, dilute them. Because that is, Mehdi, I have had grown men cry in my office when they've come in for consultancy sessions. They've lost their business because of customer concentration. Literally, life was great on Monday. They get a call on the Tuesday saying
I nearly did this while we nearly went pop last year because we had 50% of our revenue came from one place and I couldn't dilute it fast enough. And I was like, there's going to be a problem here if they can't pay their bill. And I could see they couldn't pay their bill and they couldn't pay their bill. So but that's the concentration part. Don't misunderstand it because you're doing one sort of like niche. I think having it, we say it all the time on the podcast, there's riches in niches. You know, it's great to have a niche. And the fact that you can walk into other councils and say, hey, we work with mental health and substance abuse teams, and you can put that sort of stuff on tenders. That's not a bad thing. It'd be bad if it's all coming from one place, but not the fact that you've niched into a particular sector. That's no bad thing.
Yeah, because the good thing with them is that they're very sticky customers. Once they start using you, they use you again and again, but the concentration part of it still is a threat. So we are in the line of getting 3 more county councils on board. I have a lot of tips and tricks that I use to catch them and capture them and then make sure that we work with them. as well. So we have a lot of elderly people that they bring for us that we do like regular cleans for them every week, and we were thinking of bolting on a laundry business because they struggle a lot with their laundry. So we're thinking of doing a laundry drop, buying a laundry and then doing a drop off service where we pick up their laundry, drop it all off, and then wash it all at the laundry place and then bring it back. I reckon we can get about 100 people per local council, even the care companies as well want to work with us as well, because we are sort of specialists in this sort of section. So if they're like, our carers are struggling with providing cleaning and laundry services, but if this specialist company can handle that bit, and then our carers can focus on what they do best. So we're thinking of getting a laundry business, and then all the laundry of all the clients maybe that come from Surrey, or the clients that come from Runnymede or Woking or Windsor, all of them, we get to do their laundry and then deliver it back to them, and stuff like that. So we're like, should we just bolt on something this? And then we're like, yeah, we are emphasizing this niche, but if a contract comes across, we should take it on, not just pass it off just because it's not part of our niche business that we do. I think that's what James was trying to highlight or emphasize.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're worrying about it too much. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just go.
That can fold in though, like what Jimbo talks about all the time is folding into the existing empire. Like I say, it's not that you're trying to start a fish and chip shop. Like there's a natural gravitation from your clients who need that service. And if you're spotting that they need it, they struggle with the laundry or whatever, there's nothing wrong with folding that into your existing empire. You're not sort of devaluing your offering by doing something completely out of the ordinary. You're offering and extending the service point instead of having to go and get more customers. You're taking more money off the same customers. That's not a bad thing, that.
I really love you, JB.
Yeah, because we made me...
Sorry, Mehdi.
Sorry, Mehdi, we're having a bromance moment.
I just come to my mind.
Should we have a hug? Do you want a hug?
No,
Come on, let's have a hug.
I think good people. Yeah, we
nice.
spoke about in the last episode that what makes us proud, or the first episode of that, and Chud said about the people around him.
Yes.
And I just thought that
Chud's
as I looked at you.
Chuds.
I mean, that's the nicest. I'm going to beat you all day.
Yeah, no,
we'll go
fine.
back to being horrible.
Yeah, fine. So that was the next biggest challenge, and then I think you've got some questions that you wanted to ask to Jimbo as well, didn't you? Because you seem to understand. I mean, you've swallowed the James Sinclair playbook well and truly, and it sounds like you're doing the right stuff. And when you're not doing the right stuff, you're aware you're not doing it.
Should we ask, how old are you?
It's got to be like 23, isn't he? 24.
23.
Come on, baby. You're going
23.
places. You sound older than you are.
You do.
No, I mean, that's offensive, isn't it?
20. No, he sounds wise, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So 23, what were you doing? You were
23. I was much more successful than you, I think.
Yeah, you were. I was a holiday rep singing.
Yeah. He was more into breasts than me.
I was. In that regard, I was very successful.
He was a Michael Bublé tribute act, and he didn't want to go home.
Great reference point if you know Bublé songs. Yeah, come on then. Let's have your questions then, Mehdi. So your question number one was, I was thinking of buying a laundry business as we think we can provide a laundry service to our repeat customers, hoping to get that sort of scalable thing that could bolt on. Do you like the laundry concept?
Yeah, but buying one that's already going, that's doing 500,000 of revenue, I would prefer more than that. But I think if you can buy something so you don't have to front all the money and use vendor finance, and then you get to use all the equipment for your business, that's bloody good. Funnily enough, Mehdi, on a couple of episodes ago, this is why this podcast could be dangerous for me, JB. We had a chocolate company on, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. So I was thinking a chocolate company would fold nicely into my little empire, making chocolate bars with Rossi branding and sell them through Cafe Deli, people high-end chocolate bars. To set up a good chocolate factory, £500,000 with all the gear and all the equipment. Then you got to have the knowledge and know-how. I'm just going to buy it, go and look to see if I can buy one.
Yeah.
So I had conversations with someone already yesterday about buying
Oh, really?
£2 million chocolate turnover business. And I said, how much does it cost to set it all up? £500,000. And then you'd make loads of mistakes, wouldn't you? If
Yeah.
you were you'd buy the wrong laundry things. You wouldn't know where to buy the best powder from. And so actually, this is what I mean. When you buy a business, you've got 600% more chance of success than starting one up. It comes with customers. It comes with cash flow.
Yeah.
It comes with establishment. It comes with some moats around the business. It comes with knowledge in the industry. So yeah, I would look to buy one, not start one.
Right, question 2
And
then.
finance it through vendor
Starting
finance.
something is very hard. Yeah.
Finance it through vendor finance or lease finance, so that you just leverage the equipment, so you don't have to put much money into it. Bada bing, bada boom.
Question 2. I have half a decade of experience in working with elderly and vulnerable people, and since we're aiming for scalability, I was thinking of buying an importing business for incontinence items like pads, wipes, gloves, and bolt-on mobility aids as well, to create content and brand around this venture. What do you think about that?
I think if you've got more revenue behind you, start considering importing, but you need warehouse, you need to upfront cash at the beginning to import it all. And I reckon the big suppliers in the UK are only putting 20% margins on it. And for that 20%, they do all the testing. They make sure it's all the right stuff. They store it in their warehouse. You get it next day. You don't have to front out cash to do it. You won't make, you'll make mistakes when you're ordering if you're not prepared to go over to the factories in China. And this is coming from a guy that buys loads of stuff from the Far East. But I get on the plane twice a year and I fill containers every single week. If I can't get the volume, I'll still just buy it from someone in the UK, even if I know where I can get it for considerably less. But what I've discovered with stuff like what you've just mentioned, that is very highly commoditized, to the point I looked at buying a nappy importing business about 6 months ago.
Did you?
Yeah, because I thought, well, we got a chain of day nurseries and baby wipes. I made baby wipes and nappies. They were importing them for more money than we could buy them from our wholesaler that we buy them in quite considerable bulk from. And they said, look, what we just need to do is get another 100,000 units a month, and then it gets 10% cheaper. And they was all about, they were building a brand and all that, but it's not as cheap as everyone thinks, because these big businesses, once they get a commoditized product, they're not importing it for half of the cost of what you're getting it for at the moment. They're just not. So the only point that I would do is, if you're going to build brand, and I promise you, once you factor in your time of going to China and doing all of that, it's probably best you put your time into more leverage work of getting another £1 million contract. However, if you become a multi-million-pound turnover business and you've got bundles of cash, then look at it. But it could be a distraction at the moment.
That's true. That's true.
Question number 3 then.
Question 3.
Question 3 was, what has been your greatest skill set in your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, that changes as the years trundle on.
You said something interesting a couple of episodes ago. You said that you've got a different career now.
Yeah.
Is that how it honestly feels now?
Yeah, I don't know. I even think about chances. We've worked together for 7 years, but I think my job now. That's why I like having him here, because he would back me up to see if I'm telling the truth or not. Would you say what I do now compared to year 1 of working me to year 7, Chance, is different?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're less day to day and more big decision making.
Yeah,
there's more people around you doing the operations now. Yeah,
I think if people could fly on the wall watch me in reality, they would be shocked just how little I do in the business.
I just want to add, because I watched one of the early backstage businesses the other day, and like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was like managers meetings, and now I think if that was in your diary, for example, you would just be like, I haven't got time for that. Someone else would do it. But you wouldn't entertain a Marsh Farm Monday morning meeting, would you? Because you were 7 years ago.
Yeah, very much so. So it is making sure. I mean, I got a message last night from someone on Instagram, said, how do you fit all of this stuff into, how do you make all this content? Because I see, divvying up a whole day making content, I see as highly valuable. this podcast is going to be watched in 10 years' time, and it will do stuff for both you and I that really today we can't put a monetary value on it. We're not walking out of here with a 10 grand check, but it could be £1 million check in 5 years' time. But more than could, it probably is. You know, I got Camp Beaumont because of my content, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. And I'd be, you know, in a 1-horse race because of content. And that's, you know, one of many examples. You know, it's a funny thing, you know, I'd put a lot of my time into stuff that doesn't get paid today, but when it does pay me back, it pays me back in spades.
Do you proactively try and find the stuff that's not going to pay you today then? If it's like, oh, I can see this could turn a quid today, this is for somebody else to do.
Just imagine me buying a business. You know, like I don't actually benefit from that for maybe
10 years.
36 months.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit. Yeah, but if you sell it, then obviously that becomes a big payday. You know, signing up for a lease, finding a new location, employing a new member of staff that's really talented and getting them into the business. That's a good use of my time. So the number one skill set is looking at what you do. Is it leveraged? Is it higher value? And if you're not doing those things, you're running a disservice to the business. And that is a commonality. That is a commonality from very successful people.
I think that would be a trait if we had more space in the 8 traits. That would be how much do you spend the majority of your time on leveraged output? Because I bet a lot of people don't.
And then the more leveraged you get, the more you become rare and protected. I find that as well. It's really interesting. It's only when people really ask you, and I don't, because it's happened. What's the word? Osmosis, isn't it? You know, like you just
vicarious. Yeah, you sort of just happens through doing, doesn't it? You don't really never set out 10 years ago. I'm going to become this sort of like CEO role. I'll be better at stepping away from those meetings. You just can't do them more and more. Funny. And you
see, Midi, like you're you know, you got challenges in your business, and most people think, oh, I get more customers. This is like my mindset. I bought Rossi 4 years ago, and I was challenging to get more customers because we didn't have transport. So I thought, well, I'll stop buying my food services from the big food services company, and I'll give that revenue to Rossi, and we'll become a food services business. Thought that would solve all the problems. We didn't have the knowledge and know-how. We would have failed at that business. So then the option is go and buy one, because I've bought so many other businesses that are doing it better than us, and steal all of their IP knowledge, know-how, community practice into, and it makes you like a genius because you've gone through it, and I've literally solved all the problems by buying another business. And that's why I spend so much time on it. And that's why lots of big companies do it. You know, that's why, you know, roll-ups, and that's why there's less and less independence. It becomes bigger and bigger companies because they just hoover them up.
Final question then, because there was something that we had from before when Mehdi initially submitted, and I thought this was a great question. What best key advice do you have for young, struggling entrepreneurs in this tough economy?
To spending your time on cash flow generating tasks, bringing cash into the business, whatever that is, buying a company, getting contracts. You know, people spend way too much time in operations. If you focus all your time on bringing in money, guess what? You bring in money.
Yeah.
But most people spend all their time on operations. They start bringing in money because otherwise there's nothing to put the operations into. But because that's hard and it's exhausting.
Then you have to get, you go to delivery mode, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you still say, you said, I remember one of the first episodes we did, you said to someone, you should be a CRO, you should be a chief revenue officer of your business. And that should be the thing that you do. Do you still see that's your role?
Well, I think that's also, I think that's all successful entrepreneurs and business owners. Yeah. They're in growing, not operating.
So do you still see like the revenue bit, revenue and people? Yeah. Is that your main role, would you say?
Yeah, so there's marketing. There's innovation. Like entrepreneurs are good at innovation. That's what got them going. They found a problem in the marketplace. They innovated it. The marketplace said, we'll give you some money for that. So marketing, innovation, culture, and recruitment, you know, and see the innovation and the culture is really leads to sales, because if you've got good culture in your business and you're making sure that happens, you just naturally get more sales. And the marketing makes people aware of your business, that gives you more sales. So the marketing, the culture, and the innovation really all, if you're doing them things well, really do lead to sales, don't they? And then recruiting, because if you're growing the business, your job is to find the best possible people to operate the business. And, at your Medi, that might mean, and, I was at this age, doing this, it might mean you're paying others before yourself. But if you find really good management and talent, that's fine for a year. Don't worry about paying yourself, because what that does is it puts you in such a rare and protected form of leverage, because most people will not do that. And nearly all the successful people I come across are happy with delayed gratification.
Yeah, so we plan on spending a lot of the profits that we're gonna make, because we make good gross margins on the work that we do. So we plan on creating a lot of content with that. So I partnered up with the University of West London, so they're gonna bring in some students with some camera gear to come and film us as we clean for the elderly people. We also do donations as well, so we collect furniture from other homes and other charities, and then we give it to other elderly people living in deprived situations. So local councils really love this, and they always reach out off the back of this content. And then one local council could be worth £50,000. So like James said, that's why I listen to him all the time, because once you start spending more of your time on tasks that actually generate you revenue, your business grows just like magic. Because we were making £6,000 a month, we were bed. Sorry?
But don't forget management. So, E plus M equals S is really the formula. This is all entrepreneurial talk, making the content, that's all great. But you must make sure that you've got a manager running the day-to-day so that you can go off and do the income generating stuff.
Brilliant. Medi, thank you very much for being on the podcast. Where can people go if they want to find more information about you and your services, my man? Where can they go and find out info about you guys?
They can find us on our website at Medilas Cleaning Services Limited. Instagram, same Medilas Cleaning Services Limited, and TikTok and all the other social media platforms as well. We will be there. We'll be waiting for the customers.
Good stuff.
Good man. Thank you very much for being on the podcast. Wishing you well, mate. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Medi. Take care, mate.
Bye-bye.
All the best. There you go. Medi, all the way from Medilas Cleaning Services. What a lovely fella. It's time for the 8 Trades of the Greats, isn't it?
Yeah, baby.
This is the point of the show where award-winning entrepreneur James Sinclair casts his magic eye across the traits of great entrepreneurship. We look at the entrepreneurs that we have on the podcast and we rate them out of a score of 8, and we see how well that they do against that illustrious list of greatness.
Starting with the end in mind.
I don't think he'd have on.
No. Passionate about his cause.
Oh, he loves a bit of cleaning, that fella.
Untold amounts of resilience.
I would say so.
He's an innovator and evaporator.
He's trying, isn't he?
I'm not giving him that yet.
Fine.
Commercial awareness. We didn't ask about.
But if you've talked about it, he knows it. If not, he doesn't.
Okay, so we're giving him it.
Half.
Relationships with people.
Yeah, I don't think you work in that business without, can you?
No. Master marketeer.
No, he can't have that yet.
Stay teachable. He can.
He can have that one.
Well, it's a no.
It's a no.
It's a 4.5. I was about to say it's a knock on the door. It's number 4, but what's 4.5?
He's having a laugh. It's a 4.5.
He's having a laugh. It's a 4.5.
There you go.
That's my favourite one you've ever said.
Oh my goodness. That fella knew you and your models better than you did.
Before we do the business quiz of the week, which Chuds is just bringing over, I got sent from a very big friend of the show and a very big friend of all of the good stuff that we do. His name is Dave Spittlehouse. Remember Dave Spittlehouse?
I do.
He's from Simpatico. It does all my mobile phones. And if you are a business owner and you want a great person to look after your mobile phone and communications, please check out Dave Spittlehouse.
Most successful stand I've ever seen at one of your events, and all he had was a glass bowl and an iPhone to give away.
Yeah.
And there's other people and they got pop-up banners and stands and stuff, and all he was like, just stick your card in there.
He's absolutely amazing and
great.
really looks after his customers and saves you a lot of money as well. So that's a lovely little free advert.
There you go.
David from Simpatico. But he sent me something. So do you know who Octopus Energy are?
Yes, I do.
Now, apparently, interesting fact to quote of the week here, they're getting more customers now than British Gas.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, they're a massive VC firm.
Yeah.
Who weirdly also own a theme park in Devon.
Do they?
They do, yeah. That they sort of invested in, and then it went wrong, and now they've
How
owned a theme
random.
park. Anyway, yeah, they own lots. They've got a lot of big VC fund,
Yeah.
which is called Octopus Investments, actually.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but Octopus Energy, done this. We asked, what's the one complaint you've heard most today to all their staff? And someone replied, our bloody hold music. We were using generic hold music at the time, so we started throwing around ideas for fun solutions. Because we extend credit, we have people's date of birth, and we thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could play something that would make you feel a little bit nostalgic? We found an article where a data scientist had done some research, and we found that when you're 14 years old, you get the first awakening of music. Now, when people pick up the phone, they get the song that was #1 in the charts when they were 14.
That is unbelievable.
And maybe they're just a little bit happier than when they started the call. Well done,
That
Octopus Energy.
is so good.
That is very clever. I thought that was just worth reading out here on the pod.
Very smart.
Not that Octopus Energy
Needs
with
any
their
more advertising.
many billions of market cap need the business broadcast.
No, but do you know
to
what?
mention them.
In a-
But
in a
credit
s-
where credit's due. Is that what you're about to say?
Absolutely. And in a space where you've got to pay someone for the thing that comes through the door, and it don't really matter who's pumping it through your door, you might
Yeah.
as well give your money to someone that you actually like.
But little things like that, very good.
Just so clever.
That's why we've been doing secret shopping. I told you this. I mean, that if you're not doing secret shopping for your business, listening to calls, pretending to call up your business, sending in emails, but don't do it yourself. Get, an audited firm.
Do they do the secret phone calls and all
we
that
do
stuff
all
as
of
well?
that within
Do
the
they?
shop, and we out of a secret shop, we would send in a Facebook message, send in an email, phone up, and then visit the business and pay to do what you do. So if you've got a roller skating rink, a zoo, a shop, they would go and buy something in the shop and then give you a really detailed, scientifically backed report or data backed report on what you can do to improve, and stuff that you would just go, we are so stupid. How can we not have done that?
I bet it's your. But how many?
I hate it.
I can imagine. I would hate to be the person
Let me
delivering
tell
you
you
the
one of the
report.
things that's really peed me off on with this mystery shop. So, the world's gone so politically correct, health and safety correct. It drives me insane. So, name badges. This is how crazy the world's gone, JB. Because, we've got children's attractions. We've got name badges, and they have a little pin on the back, don't they?
Yeah.
What if the name badge, this is what someone said, what if the name badge falls off and the kid pricks themselves on that tiny little pin that's on the back? I mean, we're not going to kill ourselves here, are we? So what's transpired is everywhere you go now, no one has them in anywhere there might be children. It's all turned into lanyards. And you got the name badge. I'm just sort of going, it's sort of down.
Waist height.
Waist height. So people have to look down rather than eye contact. But what happens with lanyards is they turn around, don't they?
Yeah.
So in loads of the mystery shops, it says the lanyard had turned around, so we couldn't tell who the member of the staff's name is. And it would be nice to actually have the name here. So the pins are coming back, gang.
Pins are going back.
Take me to court.
Bring back pins. What do you want?
But
Pins.
that's just one of the things, because it's scientifically proven, by the way, that if you've got a venue or a shop or anything, if people know the name of the person and they're publicly displaying their name, this has been proven that customer service improves 12%.
Really?
The person's
Wow.
warmer to you.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you use someone's name, it really does improve things. If someone knows your name that they haven't seen you for a year and a half, like they go, you remember my name.
When I used to work at Thomas Cook when I was like a 19-year-old
that
holiday
company.
rep,
You was the finance director there.
I was
wasn't
not the finance director there. I was the world's worst rep, according to the Saturday Mail or like one of the Saturday newspapers. Anyway, story for another time. But they used to teach us to learn people's names and use it 3 times back to them.
Yeah.
So then when you would go around the pools, we used to do like quizzes and you'd do stuff and you'd be like, hey, James, how you getting on today? like the scores, the CSR, so the customer satisfaction reports that they used to get on the aeroplane on the way back.
Yeah,
They would go through the roof if you knew their names.
absolutely.
And it was just literally knowing their name.
Verbatim
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Good little hack. Good little hack for
Names
life.
are
there.
very, 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 very powerful.
They are indeed. I know what you're thinking, guys. Well, that was a lovely show. I'm glad that's over. It's not over yet. It's not over at all. 'Cause there's another knock at the door. It's time for the business quiz. Thanks, Chuds.
Hey.
Versus JP on the quiz is business thing.
That's right.
Business knowledge and insight.
Which one's clever and which one's dumb?
Izzy Wizzy.
Let's get quizzy. Right, in this envelope
Are we
here.
going to go for a hat trick?
Oh, I'm having a nightmare here, aren't I? But mind you, it's all insider information so far. Inside this folder, inside this very folder here, there is a quiz question related to the sector we have discussed today. Me and the brightest mind in British entrepreneurship, who couldn't be here, so he subbed in Jimbo for it instead. We're going to battle it out on the question. The question today is, the UK cleaning industry directly employs over 1 million people. What percentage of them work part-time?
That's a lot of people. Can I just
The
say,
UK
70 million people live in the UK.
Yeah.
1 million of them work in the cleaning
That's
industry.
crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. The UK cleaning industry directly employs over 1 million people. What percentage of them work part-time? I've lost my pen.
How can you have lost that?
Oh, because you've stolen it. Can we get a replay? Can we get a slow motion replay of that, Chaz? Run that back. I've lost my pen.
How can you have lost that?
Oh, because you've stolen it. Him gets on. How can you? Oh no! Confident with this one. Oh, we could do like a big reveal thing like they do on the TV, couldn't we? 3, 2, 1, show like rock paper scissors. Everyone loves that game. It doesn't matter how. Like my kids love rock paper scissors. George loves it. Who's 4. Louis loves it. Who's 8.
Harvey, yeah. Harvey and Darcy love it too.
You can't beat that. And a thumb war. They love a thumb war.
Oh, I declare a thumb war.
Yeah, it's so good fun.
Okay.
Ready? We'll reveal on 3. 1, 2, show.
Bosh.
Oh. 79% versus 62%. James Sinclair, leading legend of British entrepreneurship, thinks that 62% of the population work part-time. No, not 62%. You get the point. So the question was, to reiterate, the UK cleaning industry directly employs over 1 million people. What percentage of them work part-time? I said 79. He said 62. Oh, for God's sake, I'm going home. The answer is 57%.
That is so good. That's a hat trick for me. Boom,
That's
boom,
about the
boom.
ninth on the bounce. We might as well stop playing that game.
We do. Oh, no, I love this game.
Of course you do. The UK still comes 5th globally in terms of the numbers of employees working as cleaners. Hang on, the UK still comes 5th globally in terms of the number of employees working as cleaners. That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, certainly when you got India and China that got 1 billion plus people in each country, I thought we'd be way down.
Yeah, that is crazy. Clearly, we don't like cleaning up after ourselves. We need other people to do it for us. The sector continues to grow with 75,565 cleaning businesses in the UK in 2023. 21% of the cleaning workforce are foreign born.
Do you know, just this is how micro businesses are. Do you say 75,000 cleaning companies?
Yes.
There's only 7,500 companies that employ more than 250 people
Yeah.
in the entire country.
Yeah.
But there's 75,000 cleaning companies.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many of them employ less than like 10 people.
Well, most of them will not. They'll be just limited companies with one-man bands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is the majority of businesses in the round.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. Well, if you have enjoyed today's episode, I realise it's a bit of a different one. We had Sebastian on early doors asking for a bit of advice and guidance. Don't forget, again, if you are in his area and if you could support him, be a role model.
How long was this podcast to be done today?
We started it on Monday, the 5th of March, and we've run for a day and a half. No, we've done about an hour and 15. It's fine.
Wow.
It's a solid, it's a tight hour and 15. If people have enjoyed it though, don't matter how long it is. It's how good it is. That's what I always say to Hayley. Don't worry about how long it is. It's how good it was while it lasted. If you have enjoyed today's episode of the podcast, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. I tell her that as well. Leave us a comment on YouTube. I never get 5 stars. Leave us a comment on YouTube as well. And don't forget, if you want to, the 8 Traits of the Greats, we are still taking submissions for the stupid rhyming bits. So like 4.5 is having a laugh. 5, they're staying alive. Make your own assumptions of it up. There you go. Thank you for being on the pod. Got anything you need to tell everybody? No? Say bye, Jimbo.
Thank you for listening to this parents guided podcast. If you would love to leave us a review so that we don't get cancelled, that'd be great.
We've even had a cup of tea on this podcast. I mean, it's got
I've had
everything,
2
hasn't
cups of tea. I've had 2. Delicious. Thanks for listening, gang. Hopefully we'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business. If you're loving the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And why not give this one a watch? I think you'll like it.